If you want to actually understand what is happening in Sudan right now, then you need to understand the United Arab Emirates' grand plan for the Middle East North Africa region, because this country is a counter-revolutionary menace who is currently backing military dictators and warlords all over the region with no regard for the consequences for human beings and their lives, just so that they can ensure the smooth flow of capital and the establishment of this new Middle East and Africa that Donald Trump and his lackeys constantly talk about. The UAE has really accelerated in this role since 2011 because they saw the Arab Spring and people deposing long-standing Western-backed autocrats in countries like Egypt, and the West doing very little about it. In fact, in some cases, they offered rhetorical support to people who had removed their leaders. And so what the UAE, along with Saudi Arabia, realized is they were going to have to do it themselves. And so in cases like Egypt, they meddled in the country's politics, funding an organization called Tamarod to create mass protest there, and also backing the Minister of Defense, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, to become the new military dictator of that country, obliterating the major steps made towards democracy in Egypt so that they could have a pliant dictator on the borders with Israel and as a key place in the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. They have full control over this country. It is basically an Emirati vassal state. And they have done this in so many places. They've meddled in the politics of Yemen, trying to establish a pliant regime there. They have done it in the case of Libya, backing Khalifa Haftar, who controls basically the entire east of Libya, where key oil fields are. It gives them another key port in the Mediterranean. What you have to understand is this country is thinking ahead. They are engaged in trying to establish ports and logistics all over the Red Sea, all over the Mediterranean Sea. They want every country to be ruled by dictators who crush any type of popular revolution that may challenge Emirati influence. The UAE is getting itself involved in mining, telecommunications, renewable energy, military cooperation, and it is even buying up vast swathes of land to build properties and even forests for carbon credits across Africa. What you need to understand is that this country is a major player in the Middle East and Africa. Western countries like the UK, US, and all across Europe have increasingly retreated from Africa, and in the void that we have left, the UAE has come in and they have no regard for the blood of any African person. The hundreds of thousands of Sudanese people that have been slaughtered as a result of their backing for the rapid support forces is a meaningless price to pay to them when they can get more control over Africa. Gold is but a mere part of it. They use it in a cyclical way that is taken by Hemedti over to Dubai, and then it is used to fuel the war effort to give more advanced weaponry to the RSF so they can commit massacres. And finally, the UAE will get its petty little dictator there who will establish a dictatorship where all dissent will be crushed and the UAE and its capitalist supremacy will reign supreme.